Autoline Daily is brought to you by Siemens PLM Software, transforming the process of innovation.
Here are today's top headlines. Chrysler could end up with Nissan-Renault. Natural gas cars are really catching on in Thailand. And SiriusXM radio says it's going to make a profit. Up next, we'll be back with the news behind the headlines. This is Autoline Daily for Tuesday, October 21, 2008, and now the news. In the ongoing saga of who will take over Chrysler, the Wall Street Journal reports it could end up with Nissan-Renault. Everyone knows Carlos Ghosn, who runs those companies, would love to have an American automaker as part of his alliance. But Cerberus, the company that owns Chrysler, they don't want an alliance. They want cash, and lots of it. So the more likely scenario is what we've been reporting for days now. GM is probably going to get Chrysler so it can chop it into pieces, all in the belief that this is what could finally put GM back on its feet. Meanwhile, the California Auto Dealer Association warned that GMAC's policy to restrict car loans to those with the highest credit scores is going to drive many GM dealers out of business and hurt GM's market share in California. GMAC's actions wipe out 40% of GM customers in California. And you know, as I said yesterday, I believe this is part of Cerberus's plan to force GM to accept a merger with Chrysler. GM is being bullied by Cerberus, and maybe it's time it got the guts to start fighting back. You know what you do with a bully? You punch him in the nose. SiriusXM Radio CEO Mel Karmazin says the company will make a profit next year. The company still has not turned a profit, even though it has over 18 million subscribers and does nearly $2.5 billion in sales. Karmazin says that by combining Sirius with XM, the company will finally be able to cut costs enough to become profitable, and you'll be able to hear more from him on Autoline Detroit, available on the website this Friday. Over the summer, T. Boone Pickens launched a campaign highlighting the benefits of switching to natural gas cars. But developing countries like Thailand are way ahead of him. The Wall Street Journal reports that drivers have converted or purchased more than 40,000 natural gas vehicles in the past 6 months in Thailand, and officials believe that number could rise to over 300,000 by 2012. You know, Thailand is not the only developing country embracing natural gas vehicles. Pakistan, Brazil, Argentina have over 1.5 million of them on their roads as well. The New York Times is reporting that insurance companies are starting to close loopholes that allow drivers to participate in motorsport events. Running hot laps during an open track day may not be covered. This comes as auto racing surges in popularity. Racing on tracks has increased fivefold just since 2003. Adding insult to injury, insurance laws differ from state to state, so what might be kosher in California may not fly in Florida. If you plan on participating in a track event, you'd best check with your insurance company to see if you're covered. Heaven forbid if you put your Yanko Camaro into the wall and you get stuck footing the bill. As we reported last week, Toyota is developing a mini car called the IQ. But now our friends at Autoblog are reporting that the company is also working on a roadster version of the tiny two-door car. German car magazine Automotor und Sport expects the IQ Roadster to debut at the 2009 Tokyo Motor Show. Beyond the runt-sized Roadster, there are also rumors that other body styles are in the works, including a mini minivan and a hybrid. In our feature story today, we take a look at another of the electric vehicles that Chrysler showed us recently. That's coming up right after this.
Siemens, transforming the process of innovation.
With gas continuing to eat into all of our budgets, every OEM is looking for an alternative fueled option. Chrysler recently unveiled 3 vehicles from its ENVI organization, and here's its president, Lou Rhodes, to tell us what makes these vehicles different.
What we're really looking at is the next logical step beyond hybrids. Unlike a hybrid, here we've pretty much removed the engine from the equation. They are all electric, so they do have the ability to run without any gasoline at all. We have one vehicle, the Dodge, which is 100% electrical. The other two vehicles have a battery pack which provides 40 miles of all-electric range, and then an internal combustion engine combined with a generator to provide additional electricity. The advantage to the consumer is very low gas bills. The cost of electricity today is the equivalent of about 75 cents a gallon.
Surprisingly, Chrysler doesn't seem as far behind in the electric vehicle game as everyone thought. But you know, if Chrysler gets bought by General Motors, I gotta believe all these efforts are just going to get thrown in the wastebasket. And that's it for today's top news in the global automotive industry. Don't forget, you can get podcasts, transcripts, and a whole lot more at our website, AutolineDaily.tv. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.